with the, I needed that shit to rise out the ashes. Like anxiety, like after I talk for long periods of time, that's actually what you feel anxious like, because you pull so much spirits and you trying to calm down. That's a lot. Actually, that's really the side effect of this shit. Think about this. After we say, all right, then, what you think? I'm just going with, like, all right, then, and just go to bed. Nigga, this is this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a second.
That's facts.
Yeah, it take a while for Khadijah. Like, we have to get in front of the TV and just veg out, like, after classes. Because my classes is 10 hours. I'm documented. Like, we start at 2, when I ended at 12 at one time, 1:30. Yo, I go into a meditation. I promise you, I'll be laid back on the couch, gone, still doing class. And I just look up after an hour, motherfuckers is there like, all that shit documented. So it's zoned out. I've been stopped doing this with this. I've been in deep channel, lecture in deep channel. I'm zoned out. I don't remember the shit I'm saying. I don't remember what we started with just now. Today we're somewhere else. But Khadijah also now, she's starting to know that she has to de-guise. You call a lot of spiritual energy. We not called this Kava shit though. This shit is very good for anxiety. And it helps, it kind of helps get you back to thinking, because you got to do normal shit. You be all fucked after all of this. You be all fucked. You walk out the room, you want to get some pizza, you be like, you just be somewhere else. Yeah. But that's probably, I would say, the side effect of it. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten better at that with the last live lectures. Usually I'd be like out of it, and I was like up, ready to go. We was hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I was hanging out with Nashville and New Orleans last time. So the intellect is getting stronger in it. And I think it was getting stronger lately because of that Beetlejuice energy was coming down. So if you're, I'm always looking to receive some shit. That was Bobby's whole flagship thing. Breakthroughs, man. Look for breakthroughs. So you never satisfy yourself with what you know. You know what I'm saying? I may contradict the shit in the same in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Good. You know what I'm saying? This shit is supposed to break down. It's supposed to break down where none of this is supposed to make sense anymore, because when it stops making sense, that means your true mind is coming back. You get what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to explain this 100% no more. That's when we doing good. Like, your parent, I just know. That's the shit we want to start dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Well, more than what me and Aleem already discussed. Listen, I'm going so many directions, but it's clear at first. What's absolutely clear is they definitely want us not touching each other for some reason. Now, the first thing says, well, the level of fucking on the planet has gone down dramatically. But it has to be something that would change the characteristic. Because think about this. If that light is coming, that light would come here based upon it being called. And it would be called based upon our, not just us calling it, but we would call it in the way we walked, in the way we dressed, in our slang, in the day-to-day unspoken thing when you got to punch a time clock. We would call that light there. So that's just the day-to-day behavior of a nigga, you know, in this society would call that light. That light would recognize, you know, that's what niggas was singing, swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home, nigga. Is the same concept of this light coming, and it's coming based upon a situation. So if they could just change the situation by having no contact, you can, or at least they can hope that it would fool or we wouldn't receive what we were supposed to receive by way of light. I guess that would be the thought process. Won't work. But you know, to change the behavior, because it's kind of like Brother Phil broke this down before, and you know, it was absolutely clear on what they were doing. Like, let's say with just Eminem, he was saying you would see the wigger, you know, they're acting like, you know, the wigger is just this outcast, but they're really trying to promote the wigger and trying to hope this wigger image will take hold of their kids to save them. Because when light gets here, and that's what Phil would talk about, light codes and light frequencies, light will see just the light will hit us just because we got our pants hanging off our ass, just because we move a certain way. We got a certain slang and a certain swag. That light sees that, and that's what it recognizes out the way we flow. So if the wigger is doing that, the hope is the wigger could catch some of that light too by acting like us. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to hit us. It's going to hit us based upon our Holocaust and our day-to-day behavior within the Holocaust. Not so much our calling out on 125th as our much, like I said, our grinding, our just having to punch a time clock, just having to wonder where your damn dad was when you was little, or just wonder why your dad who was there is so fucked up. Just all the shit that we go through in terms of the thoughts of this Holocaust. If light was to come here, it would do that. Perhaps to change the characteristic of the planet, a quick and fast is nobody touch each other. Nobody do this, nobody do that. I mean, that would change the frequency in maybe a hope to change what would be happening with the light, perhaps. And that's a guess. That's not really nothing solid. And I really haven't channeled, because I really don't do too much channeling why they do what they're doing. What I really get from this whole thing is we know it's the 5G network. Let's just get that out the way. We know it's the 5G network. We know it's that's poisoning. We know there's microbiologists talking about, you know, it's bacteria, that shit is activating it. We know that. And let's just think about what they're doing. I don't even care to think about it. What we doing, we getting on this fucking Beetlejuice ride. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they doing. I know the fuck we should be doing. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Hey, Panic, before you get out of here, let me take a couple of questions from the people.
Sounds good.
In the chat room. Family, if you got a question for Panic, post it in the chat. I'm not going to keep the brother too much longer.
No, I'm good. But I'm good as long as you're good, Rich.
Right. We got about 30 more minutes. So give me some good questions, family. I'm going to take some questions from the people. Make sure you show Panic support. Panic, leave your contact info before we get to these questions.
Okay. You can catch me. First of all, the easiest way to get me is just Google Brother Panic. And if you never heard my lectures, there's thousands and thousands of free lectures before you have to pay anything. In fact, you don't have to pay anything. All I offer is free. What I do offer is this: classes, of course, my book you can get on my website, or my herb pack. For those who do not know, my herb pack is a combination of herbs. I used to use it for myself for my pineal. They're classic. I don't even know how to sell it anymore because I've been selling it since 2008. It's an icon if you don't know, but it's a special combination. It helps with the chatter, dreams, deeper meditations. You can stay in the moment longer. I heard people say they stopped smoking, could do backflips again, could fuck again. They mix it with weed, without weed, stop smoking weed. There's 1,000 things that happen, but it's still the same price always. Rich was shocked because Rich didn't know until I did that lecture with Rich, and he seen that line going up the fucking street with that shit.
It was amazing.
And it's like that. And Rich was like, no, I didn't want to stop because I didn't want, you had a good line. Like, They all will come back, Rich. Let's go back. Like that, this herb, I've been selling it for so long. Like, people who don't know, like, I'll promote it. I said, please, I can't keep up now. Like my son finally it took 10 years for this nigga to get every single email at least written up on an envelope. Yeah. Now we could just stuff. I've never had no email. It took him, that nigga is 25 next week. It took him all of them years since he was 14 to even get there. And that's a big deal. And long story short, just keeping up with this shit. So I almost hate to promote it because I don't want I want to try this shit, but the wait, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. So that's why the lines are long at the live lectures, because they don't have to wait. So niggas like, you're going to have them? Niggas come, and as you've seen, just to buy the herbs, and they don't even stay for the fucking lecture. No, bro. So every time your Panic's gonna meet you at the door. I just come with herbs here. Yeah.
Yo, Panic, my girl thought that was absolutely amazing. She was like, yo, this dude spent $50 and he said he just want to get a panic pack.
Yes.
He's even interested in the lecture, but he spent $50 to get in just to spend some more money for the panic pack.
Because motherfuckers who fuck with me, I give them results. Like so they like, I don't even need to hear no more use your melanin shit. He's past it. He just came for the shit because he knows he has to wait for it. And not because it's neglect, man. If I walked you in there now and showed you, as you can see, and it's not a skinny pile. Occultlectures.com, go on and get you one. It's worth it. It will open this shit up for you, though. And right. Of course, we have spiritual oils. What else? meditation CDs to go with it. Spiritual baths. Khadija, you can connect there with her classes, her reading. SamdiMassage.com, SamdiMessage.com. And I think that's the story of us. Let's get down to some more of these questions.
Okay.
One more thing. I'm sorry, Rich. Sorry to cut you off. My new book is written, is done. As soon as things calm down a little bit, I'm about to release it, and we're in business. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Rich.
All right. So Top Thinker wants to know, Panic, does marijuana impact your pineal abilities?
Well, I don't know about what you smoking, but these sure do. You know what I'm saying? These sure do. The answer is yes. Damn, man, I expected more from the deepest thinker. Yeah, any drug, liquor, like early on when I was I was fucking with liquor. Anything that alters your consciousness, but you still got to know what you're doing. It's not just, you just don't get high and all of a sudden you're spiritual. Like, find a technique in meditation, and then while you're high, you want to do your meditation or you want to do whatever, because the idea is you can stay in the moment without all the chatter. Like the weed or the alcohol or whatever drug, usually in a mild dosage, kind of will occupy your conscious mind. It'll keep it occupied while you can stay in a moment or a thought, better. You can stay in that peace, and you could feel that. You got to see it separate. See, and maybe I should explain that when I see, I can see my mind separate. I can still talk to you guys, and I see all sorts of fucking colors, and I see all sorts of shit. I see a whole different world that's happening, but I see that world, and I see it layered. Like this world is here, but this world is like something that's on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Even my hand movement, oh shit. After I get off this motherfucker, Rich, I ain't going front. With all honors, your mom's energy, I'm gonna pour her some liquor because I'm feeling the shit out of this. Adrian! Miss Adrian! I feel it. Yeah, she's strong. I'm gonna have to get that. Well, I know you family anyway. I know you family because just everything, like, yo, let me tell y'all this shit, man. It was crazy. I gotta get this in, Rich. Gotta get this in. tormented by our mother for years. I could tell you a story, and I've told them, just refer to my lectures where I give the detail of it. But the episode last was she was homeless and there was nothing we could do about it. Died in the street. And she was getting a check at her sister's house. They didn't check that. And in fact, she had my number on her because they called me a couple of times here and there was nothing I could do in New York. So I knew they had it. But they buried her in Potter's Field. So, of course, got my sister, got a lawyer, got her, got the DNA checked. It was her, got the ashes, had a set up the memorial, rented out the spot, got singers, both sides of the family, my father's side, husband. It was a extravaganza. I got everybody tickets and motherfucking got pneumonia. Couldn't leave. Oh, this shit was hurting. Remember the girl who was in Belly, the dark-skinned girl, I can't remember her name, little singer girl, sang on the New York City. She came, she sang. But I'm stuck in this bed in Atlanta. Only one nigga I knew to call. Brother Rich, I need you, brother. I called Brother Rich and was like, yo, if you could film this, it's on Roosevelt Island. Let me give you my sister's info. Rich said, I'm going to drop what I'm doing and do this for you, Brother Panic. And he did. And not only did he film it spectacular, he did it in most spectacularly. It was just like a lecture. It was like I was there. I seen everything. It's the greatest, documented, memorialized by Brother Rich. It was one of the greatest things, and that's when I knew then he was family. So that's why I understand his mom speaking and talking to me the way she is, real familiar, because she's family. And I'm glad to have her here in this house. And we feed spirits deliciously. She's more than welcome. I can feel her coming in. She likes it here. I'm gonna welcome in the spirit room. Actually, well, let's do that. Let's go in the. Well, we went in the spirit. We went in. Didn't we go in that motherfucker the other day?
The other day, I think we did. Yeah.
You and I. Okay, so we got it. So I'm gonna welcome her in that room. All right, so let's get to another one of these.
Let's get to another.
I'm gonna go through them now.
How does Beetlejuice manifest in our dreams? Somebody wants to know.
Well, it's not like it's going to manifest in your dreams in a specific way. So when you say that question, how does it manifest? Like it's like I can say, well, it'll manifest with A, B, C, or D, as if there's some sort of thing. What you need to look for is what you perceive as change, what you perceive as a phenomenon to you in your dreams. I don't know what you dream about. You may dream about, 17 dicks. I don't know. That's dramatic to me. That's a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? To you, that may just be nigga was missing a dick. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a nightmare. So you can't really say, how is that going to come? You really have to know who you are. So if you've been dreaming about A, B, C, and D, and then you dream about S, maybe that means something. It's up to you to evaluate. It's not up to me to say, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. That's the kind of thing we do. This is not a religion, or I'm not the preacher of Beetlejuice. Well, let me tell you how he come in the dreams. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me. Just know that energy's here. So whatever work you're doing, it's light, it's raw material, it's knowledge. So see what you do. What have you been doing? What spiritual practice have you been doing? Don't think because you heard me, all of a sudden you have a spiritual practice. A spiritual practice means there's something that you work on to get stronger at. What have you been doing there? And whatever you've been doing to work on to get stronger at, When Beetlejuice comes, you should be able to say through your medium, through what you've been using for your spirituality, you notice something because that's what the fuck you doing it for. So that question wouldn't even apply to what we doing if you and I think you understand that.
Indeed. Somebody wants to know, where's it at? I just seen it. After ancient Atlantis, the demiurge came to Earth. Was it mentally or by flesh and form?
Who said that? The demiurge came to Earth after Atlantis. First of all, who said that? The demiurge is what people have been calling that creator god. And his helpers are called archons. In Gnostic, in nowhere do they say after Atlantis this happened or that happened. They talk about the demiurge and his role in the cosmic creation of this reality. So that's a mythology talking about this reality. And they talk about the nature of this demiurge or creator god or this lesser god. Not that he came down here and said, oh shit, what's up? No, he's the creator of this place. And they talk about the deficiencies in this place. That's in Gnosticism. And like I said, I have a channel that now contradicts that. So that's what channels do. All this shit could contradict. You just got to go with what flows for you. So that's why you have to get to a point where you get your own channels, because we've been used. Let's say you use my channels or my ideas. They're not for your mind. They're for my mind. And when I'm out of this body, I'm going to make me a fucking extravaganza with my mind, not with what I convince you or what you convince me. What I make it with when I'm convinced myself of. So you have to convince yourself of something. The Gnostic shit is that study. How do you want to see it? What I think I've learned to give you a real hard shortcut, if you could understand, and not you in particular question person, but in general, if you can understand it, what Bobby really was talking about was there is no rules. There is nothing. If you decide to say Gnosticism is the way, then that just will be your perspective. If you say Jesus is the way, we know it's a vampire suffering perspective, but it's just still a perspective. Mm-hmm. So what Bobby started to understand, well, now I don't want to say what he started to understand, what he was teaching very hard, and he was saying it hard. He wasn't teaching how it was done. He kept displaying it was, your mind can pick anything you want it to be, and you just go with it. There's nothing that lords over you to say that ain't true. If you say I can blow bubbles out my ass, and that's what I want to do for eternity, then that's what you'll do. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna go, nah, son. That's earth shit, because it's your mind, and if that's your idea of heaven, that's what we doing here. You're all going to get your rendition, your own show, your area to put on your own fucking show and fill it with whatever the fuck it is that makes your fucking nuts sack empty. You get what I'm saying? So it's up to you to convince yourself down here. It's not for us to try to find this one place of being. If we're trying to find this one place of being, that's a social order. And I'm all for that, but that's not what I do with what we're talking about here. How to find a social order for one place of being. When you talking about freeing your mind, the very essence of it is not doing what I do. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're doing what I'm doing, you're not free. You're following my pattern. So I'm trying to get you to free your mind, not even give a fuck too much. You hear what I'm saying? I'm a display of it, but do not buy into it. Buy your own fucking story. It is your own story. I'm giving you the ultimate honor and the ultimate credit. Be you. I can tell you some shit to follow. Oh, easy. And convince you in moments. but I'm not about that. My heart doesn't dictate that. Free yourself. Stop asking these dumb questions and be aggressive in what it is the fuck you know. Be aggressive. Stop asking like you don't know. Asking me. Fuck that shit. I find something better. I'm doing that shit. Y'all niggas sitting around talking about should we? I'm not gonna be saying, yeah, that's good. We should do it. I'm like, shit, I'm the first one to take my dick out. What? Oh shit, nigga. Who the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Do it. Be that dude. Experiment. You're a scientist. This is we too late to be having speeches. We in it right now. That shit is here. Put your pants down. Get to fucking. You know what I'm saying? Foreplay in this. Let's go. It's happening now. You know what I'm saying?
God is a rock star, huh? God is a rock star.
Yeah. What else? You got shit else to do out here. Do it now. Happening now. Fuck this pioneer. This weed open the pioneer. Smoke it and see. Yeah, it's open. No, yeah, it's open, nigga. Yeah.
Hey,
Question is.
La Dylan Bay wants to know, how do we activate the inactive DNA we have in our genetics?
There's a book by niggas asking questions. They don't even know. Read a book by Jeremy Narby, The Cosmic Serpent and DNA, and read Judy K. King's second book. She don't have many. She made the ISIS thesis. She made the ISIS thesis and she made the Orion something to go with it. Then she got a new book, Judy K. King, and she breaks down all that concept. And in fact, the ISIS thesis too, that book and her other book, her new book, Judy K. King. Get that shit and that'll answer your question. You go all day on how to activate that dormant DNA. And then once you do it, you know what I'm saying? I would like an Impossible Whopper whole of mayonnaise.
Facts, man. Facts. All right, let's get to a couple more. All right. Please ask Panic to elaborate on what him and Arlene Bay said about consuming small amounts of turpentine for health.
There's nothing to elaborate on. You just really said, could you talk about that again? I like that sermon because that information was delivered thoroughly there. And where to go for more of it. Dr. Jennifer Daniels, right? What's her name? We sent you to her. She goes all around the world talking about that shit. Go see her for more information. So what we're supposed to do is lead you to places to go, not make a sermon. There's nothing to elaborate. Get a spoon, some turpentine, put it in your mouth. Boom. Cleared you out, cleaned you. We went through that. Don't do that. That's church shit. And I'm not really saying it to antagonize you or be arrogant. I'm trying to show y'all what this really is. If y'all want to see where the holes are, I'm telling you. These lectures are supposed to be straight up information. Boom. And that's what it is. There's no more to do on it. It's not a sermon. So there's no more to talk about. If it ain't been said then, the only thing I should be saying about it, oh, here's something I left out. You could do this, you could do that. But we left you enough places to look for yourself. That's the key to the occult science. Y'all fucking with me, y'all need to get in a look for yourself mode. Before you, when you want to formulate the question, first ask yourself and really see if you have no answers. And if you really have nothing, then you bring it to your peers or those who are in the study. But I come with like, if I'm gonna ask, I'm like, Rich, yo, I tried to look here. Let's say Rich has a keyboard and he may know something that I need to know now that I built my studio. I'm not gonna say, Rich, show me that keyboard. I'm gonna say, Rich, I plugged it in, I did that, I bought that, I tried this, I read that, and I'm failing here. That tells Rich, I'm doing my work and here's my wall. Where Rich gets to say, okay, this nigga ain't just waiting a vampire off of me. Just, you know, I studied and I did all of this and he don't know shit. And now I'm supposed to teach all this schooling and all this hard work I did. I'm supposed to teach this dumb, lazy shortcut dude how to do the keyboard. That's not even a real question. Rich, how do I do the keyboard? No, I didn't even say, Rich, I'm having a problem with the MIDI connection. Then we know we're dealing with professionals. These questions, I'm not even arrogant. These are not professional questions. Y'all should be asking something as if y'all tried it. This is not even I tried. Like, explain more on the turpentine? Explain what more? You know, we went all the way from when you take it in your mouth to when you make doo-doo. What happens? There's nothing else to explain on that. Or you have to ask a more specific question on that subject. If there was something about that, I can understand that. If something we missed that you feel, but you have to make that more specific. So I'll wait for that if that exists. If not, you got to refer to the lecture. That's what we're doing for, to be thorough in that moment.
All right, Panic. Dwayne Travers wants to know, can you explain the heart chakra being the gateway to consciousness?
All right. Well, you know, Rich and I just talked about this because we went in detail with the chakras. Will that be available to Travis, or is there a way for him to get that?
You would have to sign up.
How would he get that lecture?
Yeah, you would have to sign up to the workshop. The link is in the description.
You heard that, Travis? So to hear that thorough description, which I did go through with Brother Rich, you have to sign up for the workshop to get that information.
Indeed.
So, and it's well worth it. Well worth it.
Definitely.
Well worth
it. Panic went in, family. So
right. And not just me, you got Blue Prill, you got Brother Phil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the other brother's name.
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson. Is he the brother who was talking about how light turned into matter?
Yeah, that brother.
I didn't see that lecture, but that shit sound like it. You can't make that claim unless you know some shit, nigga. So I believe Billy Carson is gonna be some shit. And I'll be happy to check him out. You know what I'm saying?
He reminds me a little bit of Delbert Blair.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Reminds me a little bit of Delbert Blair.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a good look then. Okay, so you know I'm looking forward to that. So Travis, get your ass to class.
They want to know, where do we go?
He's trying to get me to do a whole side lecture. You know what I mean? Explain the gateway. Okay, there's a whole fucking another hour in that shit. Nigga, take your ass to class, you old cheap motherfucking Travis. Fuck it. Explain the fucking cosmos, Panic.
You gotta love Panic. You gotta love my.
Hey, but this is true, man. Take your ass to class, old cheap skate ass nigga.
They want to know, what are your top occult movies?
Yo, man, listen. There are so fucking many. I would have to say, who the fuck? I don't even know. I don't think you could narrow it down like that. But okay, let's say somebody had a gun to my head and I had to pick the top occult. Wizard of Oz, maybe. Wizard of Oz. That shit is so fire on so many levels. Like the scarecrow, the head, the heart, and the fucking root chakra. She hit all three. Remember, I told you the chakras are 1, 2, 3, middle, and this and that.
Yeah.
Look, this is, they went through her fucking mentality, through her ego, through the heart. That whole shit, no matter the fucking, the monkeys, everything. I broke that shit down in so many lectures, so many different times. It's a straight chakra story. It's a story of the ego. I broke down the names, all that shit's in my book now. You know what I mean? In my chakra portion of the book, I talk about, I should read that shit. How much time we got?
We got about 15 minutes. Yeah.
And let me see if I can find it fast, and let me see how many pages this shit is.
No problem. No
And
problem.
if it's quick enough, Kabayan, hold on. If it's quick enough and I can find it quick enough, let's see. Okay, you have the of course the root chakra, the shoes, the feet. Then the orange actually, when she was in Munchkin land, was the intuition, which was the good witch of the West. The first one, Glinda, she's wearing an orange dress. She tells her to follow the yellow brick road. They get to the Emerald City, where she meets the wizard, who's just all voice. Blah, 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 blah. Go get the witch, who's the pineal. She melted it, Kundalini. Then she goes home. But then before she goes home, she had to deal with three aspects of the human psyche: the animal self, the heart, and the head. So of course she gives them the degree, which is that's what they give niggas out here in school to shut them up. The degree they give these niggas. Then the other niggas who don't go to school, they go to where? To the war and the army to fight for their country, and they give them that purple heart or whatever. And then just courage, for the human scared ass human. They're talking about just the human animal fear aspect, because it's fight or flight in the jungle. That's the animal. So either fear, flight, or fight. So the animal, he had no fight. Fear was encompassed. Cowardly lion gets the this and that. Now he's got the fight. You know what I'm saying? To be that human. So all of these parts of him were appeased, or parts of her actually were appeased for her to go back to purity. So she actually had, and that's one of the things I also teach in class, that you're not beating your ego, you're appeasing your ego. You're giving the baby his bottle. So you could just look. Let me move my foot on this side so you don't see my bunion. I move the camera. I got a shitload of fucking sneakers that will never end. You know what I'm saying? Floor, top, bottom. You know what I'm saying? In that corner, piled up on the floor, and still in the closet. I appease the ego. There was the time, oh, we can't have Nikes, can't have this. Then I said, well, let me try something. Let me get it everything it wants. And I start to recognize my ego no longer gets in the way of humanity, because it's like a baby. Just give it the dumb shit it likes. All them little sneakers and all that shit that you grew up with in the psyche. Why fight it? Give it to it, especially if you can afford to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford to, you might have to fix your mind a little bit different. But appeasing it, as opposed to trying to destroy it, that's in the Wizard of Oz. Give him his award for his heart, and his award for his college degree. You're appeasing the ego. Him this medal for courage, appeasing the ego. And the what's the name? He got a ticker though. Okay, but appeasing the ego. And so here we feed out. We don't fuck that poor righteous teacher shit. That's a myth. You can have whatever you want. Your power is here. So the material shit for us is a side effect. True light is the knowledge. If we ain't gaining no knowledge, then I've killed myself with this shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as that light is coming, all this shit is a side effect. And this shit follows. This shit chases us. I never chased this shit. I wasn't even chasing this shit when I was a human nigga. This shit follows us because your ego wants to survive. And I left it no other place to exist but as a servant. Oh, y'all niggas ain't ready for that. Woo. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all are serving your ego. I can show y'all niggas how to make your ego a servant, and all it does is feed me money, pays my bills, all that shit. I don't even notice it. I don't even have to pat it on the head. It needs to survive. Y'all misinterpret the ego as a problem. It became a problem. Y'all didn't understand it was a servant that came down here with you. Oh, but we don't have that time, that kind of lecture time. It's a servant that came down here with you. You got to know how to get it in check. That's a part of that chakra work, and that's what me and Rich talked about in that goddamn workshop. Y'all need to get in that shit. Y'all think I was playing? Shit, I was not playing. Y'all need to get in that because, you know, I explained how to start flipping your energy through your chakra work, or at least I let you know what chakra work is headed out, what's in store for you, and different concepts. I added the occult concept. I'm sure you heard of eat bananas, that's yellow. No, we go a little bit funkier with it. And when you do that, what you got to understand from the solar plexus where the ego comes in, once you forgive it and it has no place to go. I talked about that, about forgiving, compassion through the heart chakra. And remember, this chakra has no place to go anymore. Think about that. Because it was fighting, it was holding on to whatever because they called you a punk. It was holding on to whatever proudly because they said you know what I'm saying, had a great chest, whatever the fuck they said in high school. Now that you don't care about it, it doesn't know what to do. So it will seep into consciousness if you don't know where to put it. Most people think once they get here, they're supposed to be this poor, righteous teacher. So it's not really being poor because you were already fucking poor. No matter how many sneakers I show you, I'm fucking poor. You know what I'm saying? I can't change the condition in terms of financially, you know what I'm saying, for nobody but my personal family. So I can't change the condition of a nation or a people with money. So you're poor. You know what I'm saying? You're living under somebody else's idea of money, no matter how many stickers someone shows you. So that idea of rich ain't it. And that idea of nigger rich ain't it. It's really about just what you can carve out for yourself around this motherfucker at this point. And like I said, I understood if I started to become this poor righteous guy, the ego that I was didn't give direction to, that's sitting here in the solar plexus, is going to want to work his way up into my newfound consciousness. And that's usually what happens. So you hear more twisties, more outfits, more hotep, and I love you, brother, and all that shit, because the ego just retransformed itself here. You got to give it a new direction. So I still let it do what it was trained to do all its life, pursue material wealth. Still let it do it. Let it do it to serve you, because you understand material wealth is not why you get out of bed anymore. Material wealth is now a bitch of yours, a tool, something that you can use to only further your consciousness in your study. And all that other shit that you had dreams about when you was a little kid, do it too if you can. And long story short, it's the science of making your ego have a new purpose that actually still feels good while you're having this earth bid. You don't have to feel guilty about materialism if you control it while you're here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's this guilty feeling, oh, it's material. No, it's material if that's the ceiling on your consciousness and why you're doing it. But if you understand it, if you get to a level where you can understand and manipulate it, I'm at a I could throw all this shit in the garbage and still feel proud. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Still, Khadijah will not love me less, no matter how many sneakers or pair of pants I have. And that's really the key. You know what I'm saying? Have you reflected in someone else's eye enough to be that worthy? Is better than that. But at the same time, do not feel guilty if you want a big TV. Do not feel it. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel you have to feel that way. If a big TV is bigger than your spirituality, then you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that shit, nigga. Do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. The more questions?
Man, I wanna thank you, Panic. We're gonna end it there. I want to thank you, my brother, for coming on. The next show I do, brother, definitely you and the Queen Khadijah.
Yes.
Both still on there. Sometime in August, so sometime next month.
Yeah, I know she talked to you about when she's ready to roll. And then when that time comes, we're going to kill that shit too. And let me tell y'all need to go do that workshop because I heard some of the things the other brothers are going to offer. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? You can't get this anywhere. You know what I'm saying? This is where you do it. This is where it comes in at. This is the investment that you need. I know from what I put in there is, well, actually, I can't say I don't even remember, but I'm told you need to show up, nigga, to hear this shit. I was in rare form, nigga. Rare form. So you need to go see, you know, Rich always offers you quality. It's so good to see that and hear that. And don't y'all agree? Always. We should give it up to brother. I can't see the room, but your motherfuckers better be hitting likes and fires and hots and 100s for Rich.
Facts.
For Rich. He kept you quality when you niggas could have been just sitting around listening to some goddamn bullshit. You had a real goddamn guy come and organize this shit and present folks with honor. So give it up to Brother Rich. Give it up to his dear goddess, old earth, on the other side, in us, with us, the sister Adrian, who's brought us so much love tonight. Happy birthday, Mama Adrian. We love you. Rich here. Rich is the mellow fellow. Don't mess with Rich. I seen Rich at a lecture. Somebody tried to cross Rich. They wouldn't do that no more. Rich is a real dude. He's a real pan dude. So honor to Rich, honor to the sister Adrian's birthday. And we are here. She's here with us. I'm happy to meet her. I'm happy to have her here.
Indeed.
Shade.
Listen, man, family, thanks for tuning in. As always, like I said, make sure you sign up for the workshop. We got the meditation going on. We got videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and more. It's going to be off the hook. It's starting September 11th. Call my number for more information. The flyer is on the screen at the beginning, or the link is in the description bar. Hit me up if you need more information. But Brother Panic and Khadijah will be back in August. In a couple of weeks, next month, they will be back. We're going to kick it. We're going to have a great time. And until then, Panic, one thing I want to ask you, when is your classes starting again?
Oh, I don't have a date, but the wise thing to do, we're actually going to start soon. I just let it pile up. And then when I get enough heads, I do it. It's almost enough heads. So if you want to join now that we Zoom, just join, pay. You'll be on the list. I acknowledge you when you pay. So get me to acknowledge you. That puts you in the folder. So my folder is thick now. So we're talking in a couple of weeks. I'm going to throw a date. So if you want to know, the best thing to do, if you're going to join it and you're going to do it, just join. You'll just be put on. You'll be in the next one. Khadijah sends out email blasts. So when it's that time, we're going to blast it out. Get on Khadijah's email blast.
Rare. Why do you think it's so rare right now and hard to find?
Okay. It's been out of print. Let me see. It was first printed in, let me see. Printed, looks like 1962, but hold on. This shit is so a little bit older, so it's a little bit weird. They don't have it on that second page. Yeah, I remember finding it before. Let me see real quick. But for the sake of time, I remember it being in the 60s when it was printed. It's on here somewhere. So what stood out about it? In the time, this had to be in the year of perhaps 2006 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, I was in a heavy spiritual thing going on. You know, I told a little bit of the story where there was this Bobby Hemmett love tape, they called it, that everybody was trying to get their paws on.
Oh, Misconceptions of Love? Was it that one?
See, I don't remember none of the type. The
It was
first
with
one,
Shabazz? It was with
the first,
Shabazz?
with Shabazz.
Okay.
I think not Misconceptions. I don't know. It might have been. If you remember, we did the second one with him. He did number 2, and that one actually had me on it because of what happened when I watched number 1. So when I finally got my hands on this one, it wasn't the Metaphysics of Love and Sex. Maybe it was that one.
Okay.
Maybe it was that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of the ones that was supposed to be one of the ones. So at this time, I was still working IT. I had to get up whatever time in the morning, and it was late, so I couldn't watch the whole thing or enough of it. But I was so dying to get this tape. I watched about an hour, and he was kicking it. He was just saying shit that was just made basic sense at the time. Like, your lover isn't responsible for your love. It's your love. It's your chakras. It's your heart. You're responsible. And really, through that person, it's really you letting go. You finding love that's really in you. Oh, here's some babies. You're finding love that's really in you. So all of this was like boom, because you know you're always taught this bitch better act right. You know what I'm saying? This nigga better act right. Otherwise, you know, the consequence. But you know, you learned and you go through this silly argument thing. Now, when him just saying it like that brung the ball back in your court, and someone who was trying to understand how to master self, that little note was an important thing. He said other things that was important on this tape. I thought that stood out. He talked about a movie called Adaptation with Nicolas Cage, and he talked about Nicolas Cage was playing the twin, and his brother was telling him, "Man, I really love Cheryl, and Cheryl was the greatest in my heart and my first love." And then his brother told him, "Well, she used to make fun of you. She used to talk behind your back. She didn't love you at all." And Nicolas Cage said, "Well, that's her problem. I was in love." So what Bobby was pointing out was, you have to be in love. It's about your love. And before I watched, I was just taken back by that alone in the first hour. And when I went to sleep, I made this vow. I was like, I want to know what the divine feminine has to tell me, no matter what it is, no matter where it takes me. I'm ready. And then went to sleep, woke up an hour later, had hives all over my body. Thought I was going to be a motherfucker at work. But it kind of went away. And niggas go. I was on the internet when the first Pixel opened up. I was already signed up on all of that shit in beta. So I signed up on Black Planet when everybody, including the news, said never meet someone offline. It's instantly rape. I had no idea that people were doing this. So when I got back to work, everybody's on Black Planet, and niggas started telling me, yeah, I met my wife on Black Planet, and you know, we're doing everything, you know, from Genesis to Revelations with these chicks, and these chicks are doing, you know, the same to us. I was like, oh, well, let's investigate. Let me just warm up this account. And the trend was to inbox you. And then in the inbox, the next step was to ask for your IM.
Right.
Or whatever. That was where it was. You would get it and burn around the country. And it took me a few months to realize
that's what I asked for. And that's how she responded. And it was intense because there were ancestors coming through, these women. And some of them motherfuckers like aunts to me. You know, they're my friends' moms. You know, I'm talking about who knew me forever. Like, you never had relish before? That's relish. Relish is good. Like, you know, that little that I could see them. So one of the first things I learned that sex is a greeting or a meeting in that world. It's not like how we view it here. So Rhode Island was along that journey. And I love Rhode Island. I used to hang out in Rhode Island when I was young. So I was glad there was an occasion for me to go back, and went to a used bookstore and grabbed a lot of stuff, then started looking at this book here, Psychomancy, out that store. Now, the order of the day, and here's where it gets important. This is all of that stuff got me to this store. The order of the day was each book you would read, you would see it now. There's this warning. What you do may come back twofold on you.
Mm-hmm.
All that's bullshit to scare you or scare us more or less from really getting into some super funky cold Medina shit.
Right.
So now, but it still is that stigma in your head. You know what I'm saying? You still, no matter how much you read, you still hear that warning. So it's an effective ass mind control tool. Now, it takes you a while to get past that shit. But then you hear why Simon was forced to put a warning in his Necronomicon book, because motherfuckers was fucking with those spirits, those Sumerian spirits, and really getting fucked up in the 70s. And so it's stuck in your mind. Now, about this book, there was no warning. He's talking shit. Pretty much how to see through women's clothes with X-ray vision. He's going all, it's just like a comic book. I'm like, nigga, say it ain't so. And then when you read his other works, you see, oh, he was about that. Cycleria, which I did something on about how to open and close your astral valve to pull down from the astral through that silver cord. We did a whole book on that. He's got other things about psychic power control, how to do that. Let me say this before I forget. There's a movie about this book, loosely, about the whole style of this book, called The Master. The Master. It's a terrible movie. Joaquin Phoenix is in it. So you know he tries to be real fucking Joaquin Phoenix-y. That's the dude who played the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of them artsy movies. What's the dude? He died. He killed himself, actually, or drugs. He's in it, one of his last performances. But they're doing all the fucking exercises, or a lot of the exercises from Cyclomancy in the movie. She goes, look at my eyes. He goes, what color are my eyes? He goes, they're blue. He said, see them as brown. Look until you see brown. You'll never see brown per se, but the act of using your imagination to see brown,
right?
That's the point. It's not the destination. Is doing. It's what you're doing, and I'm gonna get harder into this a little bit. Is trying to break down what you call reality. You stuck yourself on reality based upon your agreements. A book like this starts breaking down your agreements with little things you call reality. And it starts putting you in a mindset of spirituality. All things are possible, or more creative and what you call it, visionary in your thought process and how you factor in how you see yourself. We see ourselves with some pull yourself up by your bootstraps, A B equals C, 5 plus 4 minus 7 equals 2. If we can see ourselves and visualize through our imagination, you go a little bit further in terms of how you magnetize. But we're fighting against a reality that we've already have defined in stone. As up is up, left is left, right is right, and that's how it go. You go to